Well, hello, and welcome back to Lamplight City here on Buto Plays Whatever. In our previous episode, we had a murder, which happened to be a case of mistaken identity. Actually, it was pretty good. Turns out, the guy that got killed was accidentally killed during an opium rage by an enraged uncle on a bender. Yep, it happens, apparently in this town. This is case number 5, which is supposed to be the very last case. This is supposed to be a 5-case series, and I'm going to give you guys a heads up right now. I am very full, and I'm recording this on Saturday. I'm very full. I overate, and so I might have some burps throughout the episode, and I'm just apologizing right now. This might be a gassy investigation, but this is case number 5, the final case. We haven't caught Bill's murder yet, but I'm thinking this one might be tying into it, or there might be an epilogue, a prologue. I think it's a prologue with this, in which we find. In any case, we will wrap up everything today. Oh my God. Oh, it hurts. But anyway, so Constance's came to us with our newest case, the Justice Killer, I believe is what it was titled, and I'm thinking that has something to do with Bill's death. Maybe the guy that killed Bill like flipped out or something after he accidentally killed Bill, and then all of a sudden became the Justice Killer. Or maybe it doesn't have anything involved with it at all. But in any case, we gotta check out some of these police sketches. So, Justice.
I'm sure this is terribly relevant, but I've got nothing to say about it.
It looks like he was shot.
I don't feel like looking at dead bodies right now. Is there something more exciting we could be doing?
Boy, Bill's all up on a heel here.
Were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any.
Okay, so I wonder what the flower is. No way. So do we... Okay, so that was the second one. There's that flower again.
Whoever drew this was a hack. That looks more like a piece of toast than a flower.
Okay.
If only you hadn't told Adelaide about me, I might share my thoughts with you. As it is, you're on your own.
Oh, whatever, Bill. We either freaking...
What's the point?
Go to the kooky bin or we don't.
It's not like you're actually going to be able to investigate this case.
Holy gee willikers. So, it's looking like this is related to Bill's grimly demise. Okay, so we looked at this one. Is there a flower in here? There is.
I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now. Yeah, he's dead. Big deal.
So they were all killed in different ways, though.
Boring.
Oh, Bill. Bill. And then the
boring,
flower.
Just like everything else in this sketch.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked. Wait, what's that? I see an important clue. Just kidding. Maybe you should write crazy over your bed.
Okay, so flowers seem to be in every single one of these.
What is it, Fordham?
About those crime scene sketches.
Yeah.
Yes?
How did you,
How in the ether were you able to get these sketches out from the department?
I told you, they're just duplicates. Snelling installed one of those fancy new Faro duplicators a few months ago. They let you copy any document. Trust me, nobody even noticed that I took the sketches from evidence. I know how to cover my tracks.
I certainly hope so.
Okay, I believe I found
I
a
think I
connection.
found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
There's flowers.
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. One lily at each scene.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers, they're lilies. Easter lilies, I think.
I don't believe it.
Upton. This is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice. At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic, but now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the Justice Killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
So,
What exactly are the details regarding this justice
What do you know
killer?
about this?
The killings began a few months ago, and so far he's claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
The previous
What
victims.
can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause. No known connection between any of them aside from the borough they lived in. I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton.
Indeed. Okay. So I'll have to take a look at those. See if they're in a somewhat related position.
What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself.
Okay. What about yourself, Upton? How
Everything
you
all
been?
right with you?
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things will go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
You're starting to sound like Adelaide. I should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Odd. I wasn't expecting company. Chief Snelling?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Upton, we need to talk.
Oh, God.
Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
That's not expected to see. Should be out. Jeez. What a pleasant surprise.
Ah, Chief Snelling. What a pleasant surprise.
I'm equally pleased to see you, Fordham. Although, having you here does save me a bit of trouble.
Trouble?
Those are
Oh,
some
God.
rather interesting decorations.
God.
Would either of you care to explain how they got
Here,
here?
caught in the
And
cookie
once
jar.
again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
God, what do I even say? He'd never believe I was in there. And I wouldn't want to pin it on her. Let's go with the middle.
I asked Upton to get me the duplicates of the sketches. This was my doing.
Even if that were the case, Upton still broke the law by aiding you.
How did you find out about the copies?
The Ferroduplicator makes a report of every employee who uses it, as well as what was copied. A rather useful feature for instances such as these. Wouldn't you agree?
These gadgets are gonna be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information. Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Oh, Jesus.
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right? Personally, I don't consider getting your partner killed the mark of a great detective. But
Look at me looking on
what's
around.
done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Bretagne Police Department is hereby terminated.
But
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you. But as for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police investigations. Do you have anything to say in your defense before I take you in for questioning?
God, do I just bullface lie?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the justice killer is.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
and the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you gonna let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Fine. I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar and the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
Ooh.
Sounds fair to me.
And don't get any clever ideas about leaving town, either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have something to report, come find me in my office. Don't make me regret this.
Ugh.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink.
Straight up
I'll
25
see you
years
later,
on the
Fordham.
force. Just blown on out,
Well,
man.
better get to work then. The clock is ticking.
Whew. That's not a
Close and
sketch.
cookbooks.
Okay.
Yeah, at least
Okay, so
therein lies up.
the paper. See if the paper can kind of tell me anything. Since Fear, Atwood under fire for alleged couping scheme, arrest made in the tragic election night murder, Gascon spiritualist arrested for fraud. Angela Maxwell, the leader of the spiritual group Gascon known as the Spectre Society, was arrested yesterday on charges of fraud after an extensive undercover operation by the New Bretagne police discovered that she was exploiting her clients and robbing them of their money. Detective Lester Barnett attended several meetings under an assumed name in which she observed Miss Maxwell's ruse. She would claim her client was cursed, then offer healing services for a fee. I'm going to pay exorbitant amounts. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, Citizens Fear Mass Murder, Journal, Chumley, 4 victims, and this killer. That's what makes this a Friday, Chumley, Simon Banks. You have no idea what's going on next. It's got to the point where I stopped sweeping chimneys before sundown. I reached for comment. The New Britain police offered no information but encouraged citizens to remain vigilant and avoided answering their doors for strangers. Rumors of a nightly curfew have been swirling, but no confirmation has been given. Anyone with information regarding the identity of the killer is strongly encouraged to contact New Britain police. Okay. So let's go to the latest murder scene. Oh, our good friend's here.
Fordham, what brings you to this delightful spectacle?
Hello, Edwards. I'm
I love
investigating the
this guy.
Justice Killer. I believe I've got a very promising lead.
I heard an officer mention new orders from Snelling, but I thought he was just pulling my leg. Feel free to have a look around. I'm just writing up the notes from my initial examination of the body, so I'll be happy to share my findings.
Sounds good.
I'll just get started then.
Okay, so we have the blood.
Looks pretty fresh. I wonder what the killer uses to write with.
Oh. That's actually an
Nothing but a
interesting
bunch of boring
question.
documents. You'd think he could have at least been considerate enough to keep something scandalous in here.
Okay, so nothing there.
These appear to be books on cryptography. I suppose everyone needs a hobby.
Really?
History books and political theory. I might die of boredom. Again.
Okay, so you had a calendar. Any important dates circled on it? Actually, October has been ripped on out.
Odd. The page for this month has been torn out. You suppose Edwards might know anything about that?
Huh.
Nothing has been written in yet for next month. Curious.
So it's just the torn page in the calendar itself. Okay.
The former
body.
Percival McDonough, being a good politician.
Can't examine the body. Anything going on here?
Leave it to a politician to hang a portrait of himself in his own office.
We got a flag. Can't look at it. So that's a bit weird. Anything else to kind of look on at here? Don't look like it.
The former
So nothing I can do there in a window.
No signs of forced entry that I can see. The murderer didn't come in
So
through
he
this
must have had
window.
an appointment. Or she. Could have been both.
Got a moment, Edwards?
Of course. What's on your mind?
Crime
So,
scene.
what was found at the crime scene?
A dead body.
Edwards.
Hey, just trying to lighten the mood. Anyway, there was also the word justice written in blood, as you can see on the floor there.
Is that all?
What more do you need? All the pieces are in place. This is the work of the justice killer.
What did your examination of the body turn up?
Apparent cause of death was a single gunshot to the head, exactly like all the other victims. The bullet is still lodged
This
in
looks
his
like a
brain.
copycat.
I'll remove it once I transport the body back to the mortuary.
Anything else?
No personal effects of note, just a folded up piece of paper in his breast pocket. It's blank, so the police weren't interested. I assume you aren't either.
Never assume, Edwards. I'll take it if you don't mind.
Be my guest.
Okay, clue.
Did the police manage to learn anything during their investigation?
Not much beyond what I've already told you. I think they were planning on speaking to the victim's wife, though.
Did you get the address?
I did, as a matter of fact. 1820 Kent Place.
Now we get to deal with the grieving widow. Hopefully the officers who delivered the news got the worst of it.
Okay.
Did you find an Easter lily anywhere?
An Easter lily?
Yes. The Justice Killer leaves one at every crime scene.
Is that right? I never noticed.
Neither did anyone else, apparently.
So how does leaving a lily at the scene of the crime figure into all of this?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but I think it might be important to understanding his motive.
Well, be sure to let me know if you do figure it out. The thought process of killers is a twisted, curious thing.
What's your take on this whole Justice Killer situation?
It's giving me a lot of extra work, let me tell you. We haven't had a serial murderer in a long time. Not since that fellow who was poisoning people about 10 years ago.
Ah, yes. The Gascon Ghoul. Now there was a case.
Any theories or insights regarding the killer's motive or identity?
That's not really my specialty. If you want to get into that psychology stuff, you're better off talking to someone like Snelling.
Does it feel good to be out of the office?
As long as I have the chance to examine a body and learn something in the process, I don't care where I am. Though I do admit a preference to working in my own environment. Fieldwork can be a bit uncertain. There's so much more potential for contamination, especially with those clumsy officers trouncing about groping everything. Present company excluded, of course.
Edwards, did you notice McDonough's desk calendar?
I did. This month has been torn out. I asked the officers investigating the scene, and they had no idea what happened to it.
So it wasn't found in this room?
That's right. My theory is that the killer took it.
Which means there was probably something incriminating written on it. If only there was some way of knowing what it was.
Miles, have you forgotten the oldest trick in the book? Just
Yeah,
find a
seriously.
pencil and you'll have that information in no time.
Edwards, do you have a pencil I might borrow?
Of course. Take this one.
Thank you.
Seriously, the oldest trick in the book.
That's all for now, Edwards.
Good luck with your investigation.
Indeed you do.
A classic trick. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, what day was it? Where would you be on at? It's not a Saturday. Oh, hello. Shockley. 10 p.m. Ruby. Anything down over here? Nothing. Anything over here? No. So that's the gist of it. Anything up here? No, we might as well check. Okay, so we got a Ruby at 8 and a Shockley at 10. And I'm just doodling now. Little dabble, do you?
Aha! McDonough met with this person the night of the murder. I'll bet 500 crowns it's a false name, but at least it's something. Intriguing. We'll need to find out who this Ruby is.
Okay.
It seems the killer didn't want anyone to know about this meeting with McDonough, and possibly not with Ruby either.
Okay.
No time to waste with further conversation right now. You've got a killer to find.
Hush your mouth, Bill.
The former person.
So there's nothing anywhere.
Nothing but a bunch of...
Okay. Seems like that's not too bad of a start. At least it's a lead. Now we could go talk to his wife, but let's take a... Let's head over to Upton. Is she back? No, she went out for a drink. Now, was there anything... Let me take one last look at these sketches. They're lying flat on their back.
Whew.
Facing on out. This guy's kind of in a T-pose.
Must have been a power... Not a very pretty way. At least this poor.
Huh. I don't know. I didn't see anything really too strange about it. Okay. So let's head to the police station. Cover all of our bases first.
Fordham, how goes the investigation?
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water. Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking. Every book and you should bump it. Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader.
Let's talk to Snelling here.
Chief Snelling,
Yes, Fordham?
what information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
I see how this is gonna go.
Yeah, straight up, Bill.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was where we stood. While I doubt this discovery will do much to aid in tracking him down, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Do you know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of Parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland. From the reports I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method.
Or it's not
Then
the same
again,
killer at all.
Since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Count on it. What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
You have to wonder how much more
So we
thorough
ended up
the
solving a
department's
double
investigations
murder?
would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
So I see the department is still running like a well-oiled machine.
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Huh. Really?
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible is standing before me. Even if you manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be
It
it.
will.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
Much yourself.
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Oh, I get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do, and I'd honestly rather not know about them.
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes, time is not on your side, Fordham.
Okay. No, well, that was interesting. Let's go check this out.
Remind me, Miles, why are we here again? Is this for your own personal satisfaction, or did you expect her to have some useful information?
Shh. Mrs. Linda Walker, you stand accused of kidnapping Charles Harris. What have you to say in your defense?
I had to see if I could speak with my son Alexander again.
Yes. According to your initial statement, you seem to believe that the Harris child is the reincarnation of your own deceased son.
All the evidence was there. I thought it had to be him.
And in regards to the execution of your plan, You secretly administered a soporific drug to your friend and the Harris family nanny, Mrs. Henrietta Davis? Is that correct?
Yes. I felt terrible about doing it, but there was no other way.
According to your journal, you used a mixture of chamomile and valerian, instructed by a Samuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Samuel is a friend of mine. He works at the docks, and he knows all about plants. I asked him what the best combination of herbs would be to put someone in a deep sleep.
So it was your idea, and not his?
Yes, that's right. He only told me about the plants. He's quite the expert. Why, you should see his collection of Easter lilies.
Did she just say what I think she said?
Now then, let's turn our attention to the night in
Oh,
question.
wow.
Interesting. This Samuel person might be worth looking into. Although we can't waste time searching the docks with just a first name. I'd make a note of it, just in case it becomes relevant later.
Huh.
All right, I've had enough of this courtroom. Let's get back out there. Time's running out.
So, are all the cases related to Bill's murder? Whoa. Whoa, that's heavy. So we might have screwed the pooch by not being able to solve the spontaneous human combustion case. Huh. Alright, let's talk to her. That's interesting.
What? Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. Your butler just announced me.
Oh, of course. Forgive me. I was just, well, never mind. Please make yourself comfortable, Mr. Fordham.
Thank you, Mrs. McDonough.
First we
Just a
convey the
painting
room.
of some boring old aristocrat. Surely this one was called Lady Felicity Euphemia Beaversnatch the Simple.
Could
They
be.
look expensive, but I bet they're totally worthless. I feel sorry for the sucker who has to clean them. Lord Alfred Edward Shufflebottom the Wise comes to mind when looking at this one.
You got some good names here, Bill.
This one looks like a Lady Camilla Prudence Wigglewaddle the Grey.
And what about
I
this
think
guy?
I'll call this one Lord Edmund Henry Lickspittle the Elder.
Nice.
They look
More
expensive.
knickknacks. Okay. Guess we'll talk to her then.
I appreciate you seeing me, Mrs. McDonough. I know you must be going through a difficult time right now.
What exactly is it you want from me, Mr. Fordham? I already spoke to the police about my husband's murder.
I just have a few questions of my own.
Oh, very well.
Oh, God.
What can you tell me about your husband?
I'll tell you the same thing I told the police, Mr. Fordham. Percival was one of the hardest working members of Parliament. He took his job extremely seriously. The recent election caused him a terrible amount of consternation, as I'm sure it did most people. He took Atwood's loss rather hard.
Did you see much of him?
I beg your pardon?
Surely someone with such an important position in government could find themselves consumed by their work. Did he spend much time at home?
He made it a point to come home and have dinner with me every night, even if he had to return to the office afterwards.
And did that happen often?
At least 3 or 4 times in a week, yes. He'd stay in his office working late into the night. As I said, he was very dedicated to his role.
Sounds to me like she's quite dedicated to hers, too.
Did your husband have any enemies?
He was a politician, Mr. Fordham. Half the city hated him.
Did he ever receive any kind of threats against his life?
None that I was ever made aware of. I have no idea who could have killed him, let alone who could have gotten into his office to do it. He hadn't told me
She
about
doesn't
any
seem too
meetings
shaken up
or
about this.
appointments this week either.
Was it his custom to inform you of his work affairs?
Oh, well, I've always taken an interest in my husband's work. He'd often mention initiatives he was working on or people he was meeting, that sort of thing. Nothing sensitive or confidential, you understand. Just conversation about his day.
Can you think of any reason why your husband would have been murdered?
Not really. He was a vocal opponent of the construction of the Gascogne-Chumley Bridge, but I hardly think that would have been sufficient reason to drive someone to murder.
Why is that?
Well, it's just a bridge, isn't it? There are plenty of other ways to get to Chumley.
I meant, why was he opposed to it?
Oh, Because the amount of money required to build it is exorbitant. Public funds should be used on roads and buildings that are falling apart. What's the point of having something shiny and new if everything around it is in disrepair?
How are you feeling, Mrs. McDonough?
My husband of 42 years was shot in his office. How do you think I feel?
Tactful as always, Fordham. How do you do it?
You know
My
me.
apologies. Perhaps that wasn't the most appropriate question. Is there anything I can do to help?
You can start by finding the monster who murdered Percival.
Are you familiar with the art of cryptography, Mrs. McDonough?
What an odd question.
It's just I noticed several books on the subject in your husband's office.
Oh, well, yes. Percival was interested in cryptography and secret messages and the like. He would sometimes leave me coded notes when we first began courting many years ago.
What kind of notes?
Oh, now, Mr. Fordham, those were private. But Percival got a thrill out of knowing I was the only one who could read them. Sometimes he would write them using a special ink that would only appear when the paper was heated. I can't remember the last time he did that, though.
Oh man, that
Do you
paper.
know anyone named Shackley?
No, I've never heard that name before. Why?
I saw your husband had a meeting scheduled with him shortly before his murder.
That can't be right. He didn't tell me about that. He always told me about his meetings.
It was written on his office calendar, clear as day.
As I said, I don't know who that person is. Why wouldn't Percival have told me about their meeting?
Why indeed?
Are you familiar with someone named Ruby?
I can't say I am. Who is it?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
Sounds like the name of a trollop. Or perhaps a dog.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
That was the name the police mentioned when they told me about Percival's murder. It's absolutely terrifying to think that one sick person could be capable of such evil. Why is he called the Justice Killer? What justice was done by murdering my husband?
I'm afraid I can't answer that right now, Mrs. McDonough, but I intend to find out. Those are all the questions I have for now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
If this actually works, I'll eat my hat.
I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It's my deepest hope that you can forgive me in that, and trust that I will never let this monster out again. Oh, wow.
Well, I'll be damned.
Can we talk some more, Mrs. McDonough?
I suppose so, yes.
Do you know anything about this letter?
I'm afraid I don't have my spectacles. What is it?
The coroner found it in your husband's pocket. He gave it to me because he thought it was blank. But after you told me about your husband's propensity for writing secret messages, I decided to try exposing the paper to heat. Allow me to read it to you. Dearest Mary, words cannot express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me and trust that I will never allow this monster out again.
I see. May I have that letter, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I have to keep it for now. It's evidence.
I suppose that does make sense.
Mrs. McDonough, did Percival mistreat or abuse you?
He wasn't a bad man, Mr. Fordham. I wouldn't have married him if he was. It's just the stress of his responsibilities would sometimes oppress him. I would try and offer comfort, soothe his nerves, but there were a few instances where he lost control of his passions.
Did he ever hit you?
He did.
How many times did this happen?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 2 or 3. You don't exactly count these things.
What
Okay.
a bastard. Maybe it serves him right for getting shot.
Thank you for your candor, Mrs. McDonough.
Can we please talk about something else?
Actually, that's all we got to talk about.
Those are all the questions I have for now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Really not getting a whole lot here.
They look expensive.
So there's nothing
They look
in these
expen-
knickknacks.
They look expensive.
So nothing going on with the knickknacks. Okay. It's not a very good lead. It's not a lead at all. Let's go back to the House of Parliament.
The former looks pretty fresh. No time to wait.
Okay, so there's nothing else really to be seen here.
It seems the killer didn't want anyone.
Okay.
Odd. Biographies, history books.
Okay, and there's absolutely nothing else in here? Man, I find that
No
so hard
signs
to
of
believe. Really leaving me on the short end of the book here. I don't know what the hell that phrase even means. Upton, are you back?
Therein lies.
Hidden messages.
Way to ruin a perfectly good wall. I bet that'll take ages to clean up. Bloody writing. This killer is one sick individual.
Because we looked at all the bodies. But did we look at the way he wrote
You have
justice?
to wonder what the meaning behind this is.
And it seems to be really kind of etched on in, like it's kind of a bloody thing.
The justice killer sure is thorough, you have to give him that.
Now, did it match? It kind of didn't match. Let's go back here one more time.
Looks pretty fresh. I wonder what the killer uses to write with.
So there's nothing going on there. Okay.
The rumor was all. No need to talk to him just now. You should bump into this.
Okay. Well, I mean. That's the only spots there is. Did I miss? I must have missed something.
It looks pretty similar to the one in your bedroom. I like the color. Should have listened to your mother. Mostly cookbook. A lady silhouette. Some fool in a hat. What a handsome couple.
Okay.
Therein lies.
Okay, this is kind of odd. I can't talk to anybody. There's no other places to visit. I can't even go to the docks. So did I must have missed something.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Lord Alfred. This one, look. I think I'll call this one.
That just exits me.
Surely this one. They look. Probably best to.
Yeah, exactly. So what is?
They look expensive, but.
What am I missing here? Okay, casebook. Oh, well, we didn't look at these. Okay, victim, handle the cause of death, single genital occupation, ironworker at Thorbum Ironworks, Chomley. Summary, police found. Reggie Willingham. Single gunshot to the head, occupation cabbie for Colson's Cabs. Summary. The crime scene was inspected, but aside from the word justice. Okay. Single gunshot to the head, occupation construction workshop at Goss County. He shows signs of modus operating and so-called justice here, but no leads plans. No one just came forward. Former lady friend provide fruitless. Worker from the Central Lamp Depot, Worcester. Summary, officer. The trial. Boom. Okay. Well,
Surely
damn.
this.
Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. Okay, all of a sudden everything opened up. Okay, so these are all the last people. These are the docs. Okay, so that was the deal. Okay.
Remember, a black eye is not a badge of honor. Anyone picking a fight will be dismissed immediately. Well, that's hardly any fun, is it?
Okay, I'm glad I looked at my notes. Mechanic. Okay, Herman?
I thought about a career as a mechanic once. Glad I chose police work. Way less messy.
Good evening.
Oh, it's you again. Small world.
Indeed. Mr. Shaw, was it?
That's right. So, what brings you around to the cab depot?
I wanted to ask you some questions if you can spare some time.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, this guy.
Did you know Reggie Willingham?
Reggie? Sure, I knew him. Well, just as rather I didn't.
Oh? Why do you say that?
The man was a bore, a scoundrel, a no-good bounder.
I wish he would tell us how he really felt.
Only reason they kept him on here was because he was a good driver.
So it's fair to say you didn't like him?
Nobody did. When I heard he'd been killed, wasn't exactly a surprise. If I treated people the way he did, I'd surely have a lot of enemies.
Could you elaborate a bit on Mr. Willingham's behavior?
Oh, he was a proud one. Thought he was God's gift to mankind. Always strutting around, bragging about how many gratuities he'd earned or how many fist fights he'd won against drivers from Phillips. He had the shortest fuse I've ever seen, too. Just looking at him the wrong way could set him off. I'd always laugh to myself when he'd brag about how many women he'd had in a week.
Why is that?
Because it was obvious he had to pay for the pleasure. A man like that isn't going to get a woman otherwise. I may not be a hit with the ladies, but even I know that being a bastard is a surefire way to drive them off.
Are you familiar with the so-called justice killer?
I've heard a few rumors here and there about some murders in the Chum, but I haven't paid them much attention. There's plenty for me to worry about in my own life.
Aren't you concerned for your safety?
Not really. Well, I haven't done anything wrong. So if this loony's going around doing justice, nothing for me to worry about.
He makes a good point. I think we need to get a better idea of what exactly these victims did to incur the wrath of our killer.
Indeed.
What can you tell me about Colson Cabs?
Not a bad place, really. Only problem is the number of people always coming here for work. Lots of folks think driving a cab is an easy job that anyone can do, but that's not the case. You need to know this city like the back of your hand, and it helps to know how to drive. So we get lots of fellas starting here who don't have the slightest clue what they're doing. They don't last long.
What about the automated cabs? Are those a problem for you?
I prefer not to think about those. Colson said he's got no plans to replace his fleet, so it's all that matters to me.
Are you still living in Pumblechook Place?
I am, sir. Not much has changed, to be honest. None of us have been kicked out yet, so that's good. Don't know what else to tell you, really.
I appreciate your time, sir.
Pleasure's all mine.
The one failed case.
A good old reliable handsome cab. Nothing fancy.
Okay. Is there anything else I should be seeing on in here?
I thought about a career.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Okay. Oh, it's just straight took it off the map. Alright, we'll check out the lamp district.
You there! What are you doing?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find out about...
No time for that now! Get in here and shield your eyes!
Okay, there's
I beg your
Cyclops.
pardon?
Just do it!
Do it!
What's going on exactly?
Franklin's about to make something super bright.
Everything ready, Alex? 3,
Heyo.
2, 1, go!
The hell? Holy jeez.
Amazing! It works! It works!
What works?
Etheric lamps! Our experiment was a success!
What exactly have we wandered into here, Miles?
Okay.
Too bad you didn't get a chance to read that sign before their little experiment. It's the bunch of crap they used to build street lamps with. I wouldn't get too close to that thing. It might end up turning you inside out.
I highly doubt that, Bill.
May I ask you a few questions?
Of course! What would you like to know?
He looks like the guy from the first case, but with the crazier hair. Okay.
You worked with a man named Burley Cause, is that right?
Yes, I heard he was killed. Such a senseless tragedy. It's a shame he missed out on our demonstration. He was really interested in etheric technology.
Wasn't he concerned about losing his job to these technological advances?
He had no reason to. It's been made clear to all the workers that there will always be a place for us, even if our jobs are made obsolete. Unlike some other places, we take care of our own here at the Lamplight Depot.
How noble. But I'm pretty sure he's full of more hot air than the HMS Lenore.
Is there anything you know about Mr. Cause's personal life that might be relevant?
I know he was married, but I don't believe he had any children. Oh, and he used to talk about his love for fishing.
Could you give me his home address? Perhaps his wife will be willing to speak with me.
Yes, certainly. He lived at 820 Orchard Avenue, apartment 2A.
Thank you for the information. Do you know any details about Mr. Cause's murder?
Unfortunately, I don't. The police were here asking questions, but they didn't give me many details.
Do you know of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Not at all. Burley was very friendly, always treated everyone around here with respect. You know, it's sad to think that for all our leaps forward, we're still really just a bunch of savages.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I've read about it in the newspaper. A horrible business. It makes me wish we could install more street lamps to keep this city safer at night. Someday, I hope to realize that dream. Then we'll really deserve to be called Lamplight City.
You think brighter streets will stop serial murderers?
It's well known that crime rates are lower in Lyon and Worcester, and they have many more street lamps per square mile.
I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of wealth in those areas. Has to be all about the lighting.
You mentioned something about etheric lamps?
Yes! Weren't you paying attention to our demonstration? You have just witnessed history!
What I witnessed was a blinding flash of light.
Exactly! That flash was the result of years of painstaking research and experimentation. It means that not only does ethericity exist, but it can be used as a source of illumination. If these experiments continue to be successful, as I suspect they will, we'll have etheric street lamps before the end of the decade. Imagine lamps that burn twice as bright, 4 times as long. Oh, this will change everything.
And if it's like anything else we've seen, it'll put a lot of people out of work, too.
What is it you do here exactly?
Oh, several things. This is the main hub of the city's Department of Illumination. It's really just a grandiose way of saying that this is where all affairs related to street lamps and public lighting are taken care of. But, in addition to sending out lamplighters or mechanics to repair damaged lamps, we also do research into new methods of illumination. That's what my personal specialization is. I help develop and test more efficient ways of lighting our streets. I guess you could consider me a modern-day Prometheus. Yes.
More like an everyday pretentious.
Thank you. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
So this guy didn't seem like too bad of a dude. Might be a little bit different after we talked to his wife, though.
So this is where all the lamp... I wouldn't get too close to...
Anything else in here? No. Okay. So does this place disappear? No, that's still left on there. But we do have his wife's thing. Let's head to the Thornburn Ironworks. Oh, this place down the dumps.
Well, that doesn't look good. Well, that doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't.
This place sure is big. I wonder if they actually make anything useful.
Talk to the foreman, I guess.
Excuse me, sir. Are you in charge here?
Unfortunately. Who are you? This area isn't open to the public.
I'm Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator looking into the murder of one of your workers.
A private investigator, eh? And maybe you can help me out.
I'll do what I can, but I'll need to ask you some questions, Mr.
Mims. Stanford Mims. Go ahead, but make it snappy.
Yeah, sure thing there.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland? A former employee here?
Listen, I've got a lot on my mind right now.
I understand, but it's important to my investigation that you tell me what you know about him.
I'm sure it is, but as you can see, I've got a lot to deal with right now.
Well, he's no help. Maybe you can figure out a way to help him help us.
What happened to your iron mill?
What's it look like? The damn thing went and got blown up.
Was it in disrepair?
Of course not. All my machinery is sound, checked and serviced regularly. This is the work of those goddamn Redites. I'm sure of it.
What makes you certain the explosion was the Redites doing?
Take a look, boy. The whole mill got taken out. Even if this had been a mechanical failure, which it wasn't, the explosion would have been contained to a single part of the machine. This couldn't have been anything other than sabotage.
Have you had problems with the Redites before?
They've sent anonymous letters, but this is the first time they've actually carried out one of their threats.
You're absolutely sure this was sabotage, then?
Yes. How many times have I got to tell you that?
At least one more.
Listen, you said you were an investigator, right? So find out who did this to my machine. If you do, I'll help you out with whatever else you wanted to ask me about.
Looks like we haven't got much of a choice. He seems pretty upset about his machine.
I'll see what I can do.
Damn, man. We're just thrown all over the place.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
The who?
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 men over the past 4 months.
Is that right? Never heard of him.
He may have killed one of your men. Weren't the police here asking about it?
Oh, is that what that was all about? I know they came poking around here a while back, but I was busy dealing with other things.
It's nice to see the lines of communication here are wide open.
How long have you been the foreman here?
Sometimes I think it's been too long. Things were so much easier before we got these machines. They keep saying they're supposed to improve our lives, but they've been nothing but trouble. I've already had 5 of my best men get mangled by some of them. And then there's these damn fools blowing things up. My hair wasn't this gray 5 years ago, you know. I swear one of these days, I'm just going to pack it all up and retire. Let someone else deal with these damn things.
Okay.
I'll be going.
Be careful.
Okay, so let's take a look at this machinery.
Completely ruined. Whoever sabotaged this knew what they were doing. Completely. This place sure is big.
So there's nothing else to the employee area. Oh.
Hey, that area is for workers only.
My apologies.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
So is that all he's going to talk about?
Are you
this guy?
sure you can't?
It's like I've told you. I've got to.
I'll be going.
Be careful.
I think it would have been
Completely ruined.
okay. So no help here. Let's exit stage left. So we're going to need to get this guy on our side to help move this.
Huh, they seem to be making pretty decent progress.
Nothing about the street lamp?
Safe for only 25 men at once. I used to draw the line at 2.
That's that's pretty freaking gross, Bill.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction area.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. I'm looking into the murder of a man who used to work here.
Fordham? You the same man who got Laura Dupre arrested?
Yes, that's right.
Ah, good to meet you. I'm Gerard. My sister Amelie used to work as her cook. Would tell me stories about how horrible Dupre was. Good to see some justice done for a change.
Glad to be of service. And good to meet you as well, Gerard.
So you say you're looking into a murder? You talking about Bowditch?
Yes, that's right.
I like how all the
Questions
other
for you, if you don't
cases revolve around this one.
Should be okay to talk for a few minutes.
That's nice. I really like that.
You worked with Ennis Bowditch, right? What can you tell me about him?
Ennis was fun to talk to, always telling stories. Pretty sure most of them were made up. But it made time go by faster while we worked, and he made me laugh. We weren't really friends, but it's duller without him around, you know?
Do you know what Bowditch did on his off time?
Not really. I only saw him on the job. But I know he was seeing a woman. I forget what he said her name was, though.
Ruby?
Did he mention anything else about her?
Oh, sure, but I don't think they are the type of thing that would help you, if you get my meaning.
I do.
Anything of a non-personal nature that might help me find her?
Yes, he mentioned she worked as the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
All right, good.
I see. Thanks. Do you know any details concerning Bowditch's murder?
I only found out when the boss man told us.
Can you think of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Well, everyone here liked him. I don't think he owed no one money or nothing like that. But maybe someone at his other job wasn't so friendly with him. Who knows?
What's his other job?
Other job?
Ennis also worked at the docks as a longshoreman.
Well, that would have been handy to know sooner. Better late than never, I guess.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? No, I don't know anything about that. Who is he?
A serial murderer. He's the one who killed Ennis Bowditch.
And you trying to find him?
That's the plan.
Well then, I wish you luck. Ennis didn't deserve to die the way he did. I hope that murdering bastard gets what he deserves.
So, the Gascon-Chumley Bridge is finally being worked on.
That's right. The project started up again shortly after the election. That Leroy, he's not wasting any time. Maybe a good thing for this city and for the country.
We'll have to wait and see. How long before the bridge is complete, do you think?
They say it will take 5 years, but who knows? As long as the work is steady, you won't find me complaining.
Do you normally work in construction?
Mostly. Sometimes I be doing other jobs here and there. But I'm lucky to have gotten this job. I think it will keep me in work for a long time. Which is good, because I have 3 mouths to feed at home.
Be sure to watch yourself, then. I hear these types of jobs can be dangerous.
Oh, believe me, I know. One slip up and bam! That's the end of you. But I always watch myself.
How's your sister doing?
Good. She still works for the Dupre family, but with that monster Laura gone, she's much happier. She tells me the family is acting like the madame never existed, and the husband raised Amelie's pay, too.
That does sound like an improvement.
It's just a shame 2 others had to die for it.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know anything about the Redites?
I heard some of the other men talking about them, but I don't ask too many questions. Seems to me they just a bunch of angry and confused people with no other way to express themselves and lashing out. I admit I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, in-depth idea about them.
Steam Tech putting you out of a job?
Nah. Machines can only do so much. You still need a man to make them work or to fix them when they're broke. I think them Redites are just making a big fuss over nothing.
Thank you, Gerard. I appreciate the information.
Not a problem, boss.
That was some good info. Okay.
I wonder if it would be any fun to tie yourself to that thing and go for a few spins.
Probably. Okay, so exit stage right. Let's go talk to the Burley's Causes apartment. 2A.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
Huh.
And I thought the housekeeping in my...
So I can't pick that up. Let's knock to the next door, see if they know anything.
Yeah? May I help you, young man?
Hello, madam. My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I have some questions about your neighbor.
You mean my former neighbor?
Yes. In any case, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with some information.
Nah, I don't think so. The last person to ask me about him was that awful policeman. I don't want to have to go through that again.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but I can assure you I won't give you a hard time.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but actions speak louder than words.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Another favor?
Is there anything I can do for you then?
Well, since you asked, My layabout husband is out wasting our retirement fund with his drinking. Go find him and bring him back here. Then maybe we can talk.
Oh, wonderful. Now we're
My
playing
God,
babysitter.
what is all this
If I'm
nonsense?
at the Silent Raven, it's not too far.
We're
from-
familiar with it.
Yes, I know it.
Good. My husband's name is Kurt Williamson. You tell him his wife Ethel wants him home at once.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Williamson.
Okay. I see how this is all going. So do we get the husband or we go down the Gascon docks? I think we get the husband. I feel like there's a connection with the Gascon docks.
Looks like they haven't bothered. What a mess.
Yep. Okay. Into the Silent Raven we go. Who are these two ladies? It's been a while.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Do you know anything about the man sitting at that table over there?
Not really. He comes in here a few times a week, but he mostly keeps to himself. I see his type all the time, though. Older, probably retired and looking to escape his home life. I feel sorry for him, but that sort of customer is my bread and butter.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
What is that, some fancy drink concoction?
Touché.
No, it's the name that's been given to a serial murderer here in the Chum.
I see. Never heard of him. And if he's smart, he won't show his face around here.
You know, this place suddenly feels just a little bit safer.
How are things here now that the election hubbub has subsided?
Oh, right. I thought you looked familiar. You were the one in here asking about the fellow who was killed.
That's right.
Well, there hasn't been too much excitement since then. I've hardly had to toss anyone out, which is a right shame.
Why's that?
Kicking out a rowdy customer shakes things up a bit on a quiet night like this. Gets the blood flowing, you know?
What would a customer have to do to warrant being thrown out?
My general rule is if they're being a nuisance, they're out. If they try to pick a fight or are just being generally disrespectful, it's a one-way ticket to the pavement outside.
Good to know.
Good to know, because I'm...
What was it you said a person had to do?
Pick a fight or...
Right.
Okay.
I appreciate...
Yeah.
Because this guy's not going to want to leave. I wouldn't either.
Excuse me, are you Kurt Williamson?
That's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
Oh, yeah? What is it you want from me?
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way. Mr. Williamson?
Huh?
Ethel sent me to tell you she wants you to come home right away.
I should have known. I can't get away for more than a few hours before she's put the entire city on high alert. How much of my retirement fund did she waste on getting you to come down here?
I'm only doing this because I need some information.
The joke's on you, then. You can just go back and tell her I'll come home when I'm damn well ready.
Why is it you're so averse to returning home?
I enjoy going out and having a good time. Is that so wrong?
Your wife told me she doesn't like you spending your money on drink.
What I spend my money on is none of her business, and even less of yours. What's this world coming to when a man can't even drink in peace without all his affairs shouted from the rooftops?
You know, this whole situation seems awfully familiar.
Listen, Mr. Williamson, I think I know what you're going through.
Oh, yeah?
My wife and I were having a rough patch. I wasn't being honest with her, and it nearly drove us apart.
But you managed to fix things.
Yes, I was fortunate. I did the right thing before it was too late.
And what did you do?
I showed her a good time, if you get my meaning.
You dog. Unfortunately, that method of dealing with things doesn't really work for us anymore. But I appreciate you trying to help. I'd like to buy you a drink.
Appreciated, but I think I'll pass. What about going home?
Like I said before, I'll do it when I'm ready.
Great. That went nowhere. Maybe there's another way to get him out of here. There's got to be some way to get him back. Doesn't look like cleaning up.
Excuse me. What was it you said?
Pick a fight or just be...
Right. I appreciate...
Yeah.
Okay, let's start
There's
a
gotta be
fight.
some way to...
Blah, blah, blah.
Doesn't look like cleaning up.
I can't pick up a... Just let me pick up something.
Looks like that's where they keep the goods. There's gotta be some way to get him back home. We just need to figure out the right thing to say.
Excuse me. What was it you...
Pick a fight or just be bothersome enough that other customers complain about him.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah.
I can't talk
There's
to
gotta
these
be
ladies.
some way to...
Holy jeez, why is this becoming so hard? I can't pick up a bottle and throw it at him.
What a... Looks like they...
Okay, so we're gonna have to find something in order to pick a fight with this guy. We're going back home and talk to his wife about it. She might say something that would piss him off enough to get him to come home.
You again. Any luck with Kurt?
Not really. I tried persuading him, but he wasn't very receptive.
Yeah. Well, at this rate, he'll barge in here after midnight completely out of his gourd, singing that ridiculous song.
What song?
Yeah, some dreadful song he always loves belting out when he's had a few too many. Something about being down among the dead men.
Down Among the Dead Men? Why, that was one of my favorite drinking songs. Seems oddly appropriate now.
I wouldn't mind it so much if he could actually carry a tune, but it winds up sounding like a giant cat.
Right. I'll go and see if I have better luck with him.
I think we will. So we're gonna talk smack about the guys singing the song, huh? I'm okay with that. I need this info. I need some sort of a lead. I'm not getting anything. Like, one guy was bad, another guy we're trying to find out about. And now I'm gonna pick a fight.
Mr. Williamson?
Huh? What do you want?
Let's hope this works.
Ahem. Here's a health to the Queen and a lasting peace. May faction end and wealth increase.
Come, let us drink while we have breath, for there's no drinking after death. And he who would that health deny, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, let him lie. Come, let us drink while we have breath, for there's no drinking after death. And he who would that health deny,
Excuse me, barmaid?
down
Hi, what
among
do
the
you
dead men, down among the dead men.
That man at the table's causing quite a racket. Don't you think he should be thrown out?
Maybe, but seeing as it was you who got him started, I've got half a mind to toss you out as well. As long as he shuts up in a bit, I'll let him have his fun. He's in here often enough. He's earned it.
I appreciate
Yeah.
Down among the dead men, let him lie.
So I can't talk to
let
the
us
ladies?
drink while we have breath,
Well,
for there's
if you
no
can't beat 'em.
drinking after death. And he who would that health deny, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, let him lie.
Stupid. I love it.
All right, that's quite enough out of you.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Come on, both of yous. It's about time you went home, don't you think?
No, I'm fine. Just one more and I'll go.
I don't think so. Now come on. I'm not asking again.
All right, good enough.
So nice when I get to do that.
That barmaid has no sense of mirth. Well, guess it's time to be heading home. Have a good night, Mr. Fordham.
You too, buddy. I'll see you at home.
It's an ad for whiskey.
whiskey or perhaps paint thinner. Maybe both. Okay, so the bar's been closed. Let's head back to the apartment. Get this information. Let's see what the kind of rabble-rouser this this couple was over here. Maybe they have she has a new address for him.
Ah, Mr. Fordham. Thank you so much for getting Kurt back home.
Don't mention it. Now, would you be willing to answer some questions?
Well, yes, of course.
Tell me
yes,
what you know about Burley Cause.
He and his wife hadn't been living next door very long, maybe 4 months or so. But I didn't talk to either of them very much. They weren't interested in being neighborly, I guess. It's a shame, really. Maybe if we had known one another better, something like this could have been prevented.
What happened on the day Mr. Cause was killed?
I was here, at home, doing my knitting as usual. All of a sudden, I heard a loud bang. It sounded like a gunshot. I went and knocked on Mrs. Cause's door, but there was no answer. I did notice a smell, though, like flowers. Something seemed wrong. So I decided to report the incident to the police. Not long
This
after
is
that,
what
an officer showed
one of
up
those
and started
cases
asking
was that we were trying to convince the dude a couple
rude.
2 cases ago.
But I forgot his
Huh.
name. I think it started with
Yeah.
a P.
Parsons?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
Oh man.
He called for some more officers and they got into the apartment. That's when I found out Mr. Cause had been murdered.
Where is Mrs. Cause now?
I don't know, with her mother maybe. That's usually how it goes.
You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
Afraid not, but there is one other thing.
Yes?
Don't say I told you this, but, well, I used to hear the two of them through my wall. I tried ignoring it since it's really none of my business, but it became impossible.
What was it you heard?
I don't believe they had a happy marriage. They'd have awful fights a couple times a week.
What would they fight about?
Oh, all sorts of things. The worst one was when
The brothel.
she discovered he was going to a brothel. I think he might have hit her on a few occasions, too, but I can't be certain. I hope you don't think me a horrible old gossip, but I thought you might like to know.
No, thank
Not
you.
at all. I'm glad you told me.
This brothel.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
You mean the serial killer who's been killing men in Chumley?
That's the one.
Nah, never heard of him.
What?
I'm just pulling your leg, Mr. Fordham.
I like this one. She's got spirit.
Unfortunately, I only know what I've read in the Gazette. But it's scary to think some maniac is loose on the streets doing such terrible things. And with Kurt going out by himself for hours at a time, oh, I don't like it one bit.
How long have you been living here?
Well, Kurt and I moved in shortly after we were married. So
34
it's been
years. Holy
about
jeez.
34 years.
Goodness, that's a long time to be living in one place.
Yes, well, the building may be a bit run down, and it gets colder than cold in the winter, but the rent has always been cheap. You can't really ask for much more than that.
You really
I appreciate
can't.
your time, Mrs. Williamson.
Have a good day, Mr. Fordham.
Okay. The brothel rears its ugly head again.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home. There doesn't seem...
Okay, so I can't break
I
down the
thought the
door. I'd really like to get in there.
Apartment 2A. This is the place. The number is a bit faded.
Okay. No other way to get in there. And that seems like to be the end of that over there. Okay, so we have to solve the ironworks. We went to the bridge construction site. Down there to the Gascon docks. We've been over there. We can find the harlot on over here. She might know something, but let's get some more information down at the Gascon docks.
Blank surfaces. This sign could use a fresh...
Anything out of the ordinary around here? Let's talk to old Trevor Hastings.
Trevor Hastings, is that you?
Why, Detective Fordham. Fancy seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
Oh, that's the guy who was delivering
I'm trying to track
the
down a serial
flowers.
murderer, who I believe is the same man who was breaking into the flower shop.
You don't say. I wish I could help you, but the guy never came back after the night you and your partner came around. Where is your partner anyway?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he's around.
Well, give him my regards. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get this crate back, or Cecilia will have my head on a platter.
Of course. Good seeing you again.
He's around? That's probably the most clever thing you've said in months. Well done.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, so he's not much help.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
Okay.
Did you employ a man named Mr Bowditch?
I did, yes. He only worked for me occasionally, but he was always punctual and performed his job well. I learned recently that he had been killed. It was a tremendous shame. Workers of his caliber are so hard to come by.
Do you have any information relating to Mr. Bowditch's murder?
I'm afraid not. The truth is, I knew very little about him. It's the same with most of my men. I have a business to run, you see. It affords me very little time to socialize.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a headline in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but I dismissed it as fear-mongering nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
But the Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
That's pretty hardcore.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking and cataloging all the cargo that passes through here. I receive the shipping manifest and make sure that things get unloaded and sent to the right places.
And you do all this by yourself?
Oh, of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Thank you for your time. I'll let you return to work.
Right you are.
Trevor, do you know anything about this fellow that used to work here?
Keep up the good work, Mr. Hastings.
Okay, so apparently not.
The chum.
So nothing, no concrete leads there. So if we go to the coffee house, we'll meet the prostitute. I'm not seeing much of a connection thus far, especially anything at Thornborough Ironworks, which might have had something to do with one of our previous cases, but I'm none too certain about it. Now,
The former... No time to wait.
okay, so there's nothing going on here. I thought maybe he'd have some more stuff to talk about in regards to the other guy's deaths. Ah, yes.
All that...
Anything else of...
Asleep at a...
Nope, serving girl. Your name wouldn't happen to be Ruby, would it?
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I understand you were involved with Mr Bowditch.
Was involved, yes. I haven't spoken to him in nearly 2 months.
He's dead.
Were you not aware of his death then?
What? Ennis is dead?
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news.
How did it happen?
I'm afraid he was murdered.
Murdered? By who? And why?
Those are exactly the questions I'm trying to answer myself.
Oh, I see. Are you a detective?
A private investigator, yes.
Well, I'll answer what I can. If it helps any, that is.
I'm certain it will. What was your relationship with Mr. Bowditch like?
Oh, well, it was nice at first. He was a proper gentleman-like. But then something changed.
Oh?
It's like I told Ruby. I think he might have got hit on the head at work, because he seemed to be a completely different person. He'd get angry for no reason. He even... Well, that bit's not important. At first, I thought he was just going through some rough times, but after a while I realized he'd changed for the worse. So I broke things off.
Huh.
He wasn't too happy about it, but I wasn't going to stick with a man like that.
This friend of yours, Ruby, did she know an MP named Percival McDonough?
I'm not sure. Ruby knows a lot of men.
Is that so?
Well, no, I don't mean... It's just... Oh, damn it all, me and my big mouth. she'll have my guts for garters now.
It's all right. No one's in trouble. But I think I'd like to speak with Ruby. Could you tell me where I can find her?
No. You see, she moves around quite a lot. Never in the same place for more than a night or two.
Right. I think she's given us a clear picture of what Ruby does for a living. Normally, I'd be all for pressing this girl more until she cracks, but I like her. I think we'll be able to find Ruby without causing her more discomfiture.
Well, thank you for the information. You've been very helpful. Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? Is that some kind of pesticide?
No, it isn't. Never mind. You've been working here for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes. Coming up on 3 years. Been a real pleasure getting to know all the regulars. They've come to be sort of like a second family. By the way, whatever happened with you and your lady friend?
I beg your pardon?
Well, that nice lady you met in here a couple of times. Did it work out between the two of you?
Oh, that? No, that was strictly business.
Right. Well, if you see her, tell her I said hello.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So not much.
A young woman.
Not much help. She does know Ruby, though. I wonder if Upton's back. Not yet.
Therein lies up.
No, not back yet. Okay. So that wasn't much of a lead. No, he came from the construction site. So has this guy got any more information?
I don't think that.
No. I didn't think he would. It's worth a shot, though. So what's my casebook say? Learn more about Reggie Williams' personal life. Find out who sabotaged the iron mill. The authority speak to the servant girl at the ruin. Coffee house. Locate Ruby. Okay. So nothing going on there. Nothing going on at the docks.
Complete.
Yeah.
No. So he doesn't have any more information. Okay. So we got to check the bases here. I'd really like to talk to Upton. I doubt she has any more information. It's nothing here, nothing there. We're just at the docks. She has nothing. These two places are still available. I imagine he doesn't have anything to say.
Keep up the good.
No use.
Okay, so nothing going on over here. Nothing at all. Looks like we've been stonewalled once again. So nothing, nothing, nothing. The central lamp place.
Here's the bunch.
Oh, we could talk to this guy again. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I asked. With all these promises of technological advancement, have the Redites given you any trouble?
Oh, those tech-fearing dolts. Yes, I'm sorry to say that we've gotten threats from them. They have yet to carry any out, which is unsurprising.
How so?
Groups like that are all bluster and no backbone.
I've seen some evidence to the contrary.
Is that right? Well, we've seen little beyond threatening letters, and I intend to make sure it stays that way.
You have any of these letters?
Sorry,
I might
let me
have a
look at these
at.
letters. I want to see if it's by
I
my
have
favorite
one.
person.
I'll give it to you before you leave.
Thank you. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Happy to help.
Let's see if it's from my personal
Here's
favorite
that
Redite
letter
person.
you were asking about.
Mr. Crappy Handwriting. PF. Working in direct opposition to the national order of things, those so-called improvements will be the downfall of society. If you do not have a cease and the Redites will be taken under. You have been warned, PF.
Now that's interesting. Whoever wrote this letter signed it with initials. They can't have been so stupid as to make themselves so easily identifiable, can they?
PF. Who is a PF Redite? Now if we head back over here, has he gotten the same letter?
Mr.
Yeah.
Are you sure you can't?
It's like...
I'll be
Okay.
good.
Be careful.
So nothing going on there.
Complete.
Okay. So... not gonna get anything from these people. She's not home yet. The House of Parliament.
The former Percival McDonough. No time to...
Okay, nothing going on here. Interesting. I wonder if she has any more information.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Hello.
Probably better.
Okay, so nothing going on here. Nothing there. Nothing there. No, no. Do these guys know anything? I doubt it.
I don't think...
A PF. Let's try the docs one last time.
No use...
Keep up the...
Okay. So this PF person is the way to unlock that. She's not back. Unless there was something in the paper I missed. Hart Leroy's. Roland the Spray, Angela Maxwell.
Mostly cookbook.
God, I just feel like there's something here.
Must have been a powerful shot to knock him backwards like that. Whew. Ooh, that's not a pretty sight. Interesting. Not a very pretty way to go out. I wonder if he was trying to get something from that safe.
It does make me wonder.
At least this poor slut. The Justice Killer. Not a very it looks pretty. What a handsome.
Nothing at all. Dead ends. Does she know a PF?
She's busy. Asleep.
No. Wait, that painting. Gotta check everything. Does it have an artist?
Self-portrait as a desperate. A young woman hold.
Okay, so nothing going on there. Okay. So, nothing going on in any of these places. She's not home. There's nothing going on here. She has nothing to say. So we have to go back to the police station.
Chief Snake.
Yes?
Have you got any information on the Redites?
The Redites? That ridiculous gang of troublemakers? Yes, I have some information. What's your interest in them?
A witness is refusing to speak with me unless I can figure out who sabotaged his iron mill.
I see. All I can offer is a list of names of known Redites along with their last known whereabouts.
That'll do.
But I remind you that you only have until tomorrow afternoon before this indulgence expires, and I throw you in jail. This seems like a waste of time.
That's my decision to make.
Very well. I'll give you the list when you're ready to leave.
Well, I'm ready to
I need
leave.
to get back to my investigation.
Yes. Time is not on your side, Fordham.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Here you are. This is the most recent list of known Redites.
So we're looking for a PF.
This is a lot of names.
Payton Ferguson.
If we're going to track down this saboteur, it might be best to retire to a more tranquil environment. Fancy a trip back to Upton's?
So we're looking at 19th Street Lewis. Location 19th Street Lewis Red Gascon. 19th Street Lewis Road Gascon.
Right. This should be a quiet enough spot to concentrate on finding that saboteur. I just hope Upton doesn't mind you turning her parlor into your own personal study.
I'm sure she'll have no objection. Now, let's have a look at that list again.
Payton Ferguson. The initials match those on the letter we got at the Lamplight Depot.
I'd say it's our best bet.
If dead men could cause explosions, let's just say things would be a lot different. This clearly isn't the right suspect.
But it's interesting to know.
Paris Wilson. Those initials... Unless Mr. McKee has escaped from prison, which I highly doubt.
Oh, that's right.
I think we can rule out Mr. Sullivan as a suspect. He's Western Vespuccia's problem now. Lucian Donaldson. Those initials...
Okay. So we got our suspect. Payton Ferguson. Lucian Donald's residence. And Paris Wilson's residence. Let's pinch these two before we head on down here. He might be the bigwig.
What happened? Where am I?
You don't remember Donaldson got the better of you. You've been out cold.
I suppose that
Now, do you want the bad news? That wasn't our saboteur. And we've lost several hours. Time to fix. Maybe if in the meantime.
What?
May I help?
Yes, I'm here to...
Your husband? You really know how to...
Shut your mouth, Giles.
What in the world?
Now, a little respect for your jailkeeper. Go ahead and speak to him, but don't take too long. 5 minutes and then on your way.
How did you get into this mess?
I don't think I can tell it all in 5 minutes. I was trying to catch the man who caused Bill's death, and I ran out of time.
How long are they going to keep you here?
I don't know, but I have a feeling it might be a very long time.
Well, you'd better believe I'll do all I can to get you out of here.
Time's up. On your way, ma'am.
Don't give up, Miles. I love you.
I love you too, Addie.
Are you kidding me?
Poor Adelaide. She means well, but she won't be able to do a thing. Cheer up, Miles. You may be in jail for the next several years, but at least you won't be alone.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Alright, well there's gonna be a cut. That's freaking ridiculous. Okay, I'll see you guys in a minute. Well, actually, it's only a second, but it's saved right before we did this. Interesting. So apparently we cannot go up to these two places. Let's head down to Payton Ferguson's residence. Who's that nonsense?
Well, well. Who's this lovely specimen?
Allow me to introduce Payton Ferguson.
Apparently there's no pinching other people.
Prime suspect in a sabotage at the Thorbomb Ironworks. I picked him up and brought him straight to you.
Ooh, a saboteur. Just leave him to me and I'll make him feel right at home.
Please find the justice killer soon, Miles. Being Giles' prisoner is not my idea of a good time.
No, it didn't end well last time we were here.
I'll leave you to it then.
So I can't talk to this guy? Okay, Thornburn Ironworks. That was ridiculous. I mean, kind of cool, but at the same time, ridiculous.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Found your saboteur.
I found the person responsible for sabotaging your iron mill.
Oh, yeah?
His name is Payton Ferguson. He's currently at the Bow Street Jail.
Hey, not bad. I owe you one, Detective.
He certainly does.
Time to pay on up on that, too.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland?
Good worker. Mostly kept to himself. Real shame what happened to him.
Do you know if anyone here disliked Kirkland?
Enough to want him dead? Nah. There's the occasional scrap, but everyone around here gets along for the most part. Like I said, he mostly kept to himself. Head down, didn't bother nobody.
Do you know what he did outside of work?
No idea. I only ever saw him here.
You said Kirkland was a good worker?
One of my best. I knew something was up when he didn't show up for a couple of days. Don't think he'd ever missed work before.
Did he have any personal effects?
Yeah,
he kept
personal
here,
effects,
or
baby.
An area where he worked?
He had a cabinet downstairs in the workers' changing area, just like everyone else. You can go take a look if you want, but I don't think the police found anything. Kirkland's cabinet is the third one from the left.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
Third one from the left. Gotcha.
At least having a heater down here manages to keep things warm. I remember the changing rooms at the police station were always ice cold.
What's this sign say? Gents, please stop shaving in the showers. The cleaning lady almost tore my head off. She says the drains can't take the hair. What? What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Just another unmarked... Just another un...
Oh my god, there's a code?
Sounds like there's someone in there. If you weren't so bashful, I'd say...
A code. Did I even see a code anywhere? Where's my casebook at? Oh man, dude. I don't see anything. I mean, I don't have the time. Okay. Maybe.
Mr.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know the combination to Hannibal Kirkland's cabinet?
No. Every worker sets their own combination, and I don't ask for it.
What happens if they were to forget it?
Well, I have them come up with some sort of personal reminder and keep those in a file.
And do you still have Kirkland's?
I'll give it to you as soon as we're done talking.
We're done talking.
Now.
Be careful on your way out. There you go. You're lucky I only clean out my files at the end of the year.
See? I always told you I wasn't disorganized. Just preparing for the future.
The shipwreck, the red and white, the sign. The shipwreck, the red and white, the sign. The red and white.
At least having a heater down here manages...
So the sign has 7. The shipwreck, the red and white, and the sign. So the sign has 7. The shipwreck.
He seems rather...
The red and white. 6.
No, you...
Keep up the good work.
The
shipwreck, the red and white, and the sign.
She's busy. A young woman... Self-portrait as...
The shipwreck. Where the hell did I see that on it? I mean, there's only that one painting. The shipwreck. No, no, no. No. The shipwreck. Well, there's the red and white. There's 6. The shipwreck, though. The 0. 067. God damn it. Huh.
Empty. That's disappointing.
Is
Not
it?
completely empty. There's something at the bottom here.
The Gilded Lily. 12 refined ladies in waiting, quote unquote. All sizes, petite, skinny, buxom? Buxom? Yeah, buxom. For special, present this handbill and 50 shillings for the number 1 crown treatment for 59 Petticoat Lane. Chomley, welcome.
It seems our friend Hannibal had a few extracurricular activities after all.
Indeed.
Gilded Lily, huh? That's a bit suspicious.
Who knew such a pretty flower could cause such an inconvenience? The answer to that question is me, in case you were wondering. Flowers bring nothing but trouble. Trouble and snot.
That's enough, Bill. We need to get a move on.
Agreed. So who's in
Sounds
here?
like there's...
Okay, so the Gilded Lily.
He seems...
Nothing left to say on the way out? Okay. The Gilded Lily. Interesting. So nothing going on here. Let's see if anybody knows anything about the Gilded Lily before we head on over there. You got anything to say, Trevor? About that? No?
Keep up the...
No use...
Okay, so it seems like nobody does, so we'll head on over there. Actually, this lady might have something to say. Probably not, though. Always gotta check these things beforehand. No? Okay. Just checking. Maybe she wanted to talk about it before we head on over there. What about you? Did your husband ever speak of the Gilded?
Probably better.
No? Okay. Just double checking.
Well,
Has this lady got a pirate
hello
patch?
there, handsome. Welcome to the Gilded Lily. Come over here and tell me what kind of pleasure it is you're looking for.
I'm afraid I'm here for business, not pleasure.
Oh, well, that's just a shame, isn't it?
I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. And you are?
You can call me Serafina. I'm in charge of this establishment.
You won't mind if I take a look around or ask you some questions?
As long as you keep to the front room, you can do whatever you like. Beyond that, you're gonna have to pay.
Maybe it's best if you leave this part out when you tell Adelaide about the case later.
Indeed.
May I ask you if...
Of course.
She does have an eye patch.
Do you know anything about the Justice Killer?
I'm afraid not, dear. I don't normally associate with killers.
Are you sure you don't know anything? He's the reason I'm here.
Well, I can assure you I know nothing about your murderer. If the trail has led you here, it's surely just coincidence.
I don't think
she
that it
seems
is.
awfully certain of that. It's a good thing we don't believe in coincidences.
No, we don't.
Did you have a man named Hannibal Kirkland as a client?
I make it my practice not to learn the names of any customers here, Mr. Fordham. I hate to disappoint anyone who comes through those doors, but discretion is paramount in this business.
Well, he's been murdered.
At least you know you can trust these women with your secrets.
Do you by chance have a girl named Ruby in your service?
Ruby? Yes, she's one of our newest girls. She's not in any sort of trouble, is she?
No.
Not at all. I merely wanted to speak with her.
Well, she should be in the dressing room. If you go through the rear door and follow the hallway down, it's the last door on the left.
Okay. I see. Thank you. Did you know Percival McDonough?
The politician? I knew who he was, but never met him personally.
He was seeing Ruby, wasn't he?
Not regularly, no. In fact, his first and only visit with her was yesterday.
Were you aware that he was murdered shortly after that?
I had no idea. How terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. This means she's lost a potential repeat customer.
This is a lovely establishment you have, and such a nice name, too.
Thank you, my dear. It wasn't always called the Gilded Lily, though. We were formerly known as Le Maison de Tolérance.
What inspired the name change?
Ah, that's a bit of a long story. Not worth getting into.
How long have you been operating?
Going on 25 years.
Damn.
Business has been good. There's a reason this is the world's oldest profession, you know.
So, how did you get into this business?
Like many of the other girls, it was the best of some bad options. I had no interest in being beholden to a husband. I may be a fallen woman, but better to fly and fall than to have your wings clipped.
Do you enjoy the work?
It's a job like any other, Mr. Fordham. There are good days and there are bad days. But my girls are my family. We take care of each other. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Of course, my dear. Okay.
What a charming statue. Wouldn't she get cold fetching water in that state of undress?
Possibly.
Looks nervous. I'm not too familiar with play.
Okay. That would be Ruby.
Hello. Did Serafina send you back here for me?
Yes, but not for the usual reasons. I'm a private investigator. My name is Miles Fordham. Ruby, I presume?
Yes, that's right. What do you need from me?
Just some information.
Well, I'll do my best.
You do your best.
I'm
I'm gonna look
guessing
at
this
this
is where
cabinet.
most of the girls keep their personal belongings.
Who's this picture of?
Lily, 1809 to 1843. I wonder what happened to her. No lilies? Seems like a missed opportunity. That's a nice locket for being such a cheap piece of jewelry.
Clues! 3132213.
Cut down in her...
Huh, okay.
The girls here don't get...
So... That one guy had a...
Yes?
He had a vault. Holy
Have you heard
jeez.
of the Justice Killer?
No, I don't believe so.
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 victims, mostly men from Chumley.
Oh dear. That sounds dreadful. Is that what you're investigating?
It is. Do you know anyone who might have some information about him?
I don't. Sorry I can't be more help.
You will be in a second.
Did you ever have a client named Hannibal Kirkland?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. Sorry.
Do you know Mr Bowditch?
Bowditch? Didn't think I'd be hearing that name again.
As I understand it, he was seeing your friend, the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle. She broke things off with him a while ago, though.
So she said. Did you ever know him to be violent?
Violent? The bastard nearly beat Annabelle's brains in once. Why do you think she chucked him?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
At least she had the good sense to get rid of him.
Perhaps we should go confirm this newly discovered fact with Annabelle.
Did you ever meet a man named Burley Cause?
No, I never met him, but one of the other girls had him as a client. I remember because she was laughing about his name. He wasn't very burly, if you get my meaning.
Right. Are you familiar with Reggie Willingham?
Oh, him? He had to be banned from here.
Really? What happened?
He got way too rough with one of the girls. She ended up shy a few teeth.
Good Lord.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't too fond of boundaries. Good riddance to him, I say.
Were you aware that Mr. Willingham was murdered?
What? Oh, well, now I feel terrible for saying good riddance. I meant...
I think I know what you meant, Ruby. It's fine.
Is it me, or is there a pattern starting to emerge here?
Yeah, all these guys were beaters. Whore beaters, but I mean, still beaters.
You met recently with Percival McDonough, is that right?
How did you know that? I thought he was meant to keep those sorts of things private.
He had your name written down in his calendar.
And you found me here based on that?
Well, I am a detective.
Suppose that's true. Anyway, yes. I only met him the one time. There wasn't anything remarkable about him. After we finished, he got all emotional about his wife, but I could hardly understand what he was saying. I hate it when they cry afterwards.
That's a rather nice portrait. Who's the subject?
Oh, that's Lily. Before my time. Serafina knows loads about her. Even changed the name of this place in her honor. You might try asking her if you want to know more.
How long have you been in this business?
Only a few months now. Used to work at a kitchen, but then they brought in some of those new automated machines.
Ah, sadly familiar story.
At least this profession isn't in any danger of being made obsolete by steam tech. Cold steel can never replace a warm touch.
Let's just hope that's true.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Okay.
I'm guessing...
So nothing else personal in here that I can see. So we got the number for the safe, though. At least I'm assuming it's a safe.
Looks nervous.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Oh my god.
Could you tell me about the young lady in the portrait hanging in the back room?
Ah, that's Lili Peterson. She was a wonderful woman and a great friend.
What happened to her?
It's a rather tragic story, Mr. Fordham. I'd rather not go into too much detail. The short version is this. She was with a client who got
So is this her
very
kid
carried
that's
away.
killing all these guys then?
She was able to defend herself enough to mortally wound the bastard, but the damage had already been done. The girls and I decided among us that we would rename this establishment in her honor. Some days it's still hard to believe she's gone. I haven't even been able to get rid of her box of things.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Serafina.
Thank you, dear. It was especially awful given Lily's past. Her sister
Yep,
died
here's
at the
the
hands
trend.
of her own husband some 16 years before. Some people just can't escape tragedy, no matter how far they run.
Huh. Something tells me these deaths are significant. It might be a good idea to learn as much as we can about Lili Peterson.
Let's add that. Give me that box of things.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
So, was this her box of things back here then?
I'm guessing this is where... No lilies?
Okay. So nothing... Oh, she does have something else to say.
So,
Yeah.
Serafina told me that Lily's possessions are still here. Do you know where they're kept?
Yeah, in that cabinet over there. Lily had a special place in Serafina's heart. I don't think she has the nerve to get rid of this stuff yet.
Do you think I could take a look through it?
Oh, I don't know.
Serafina never has to know. I promise I'll only look, not touch.
If I had a crown for every time I'd heard that. But, alright.
Oh, whore jokes.
As long as you keep your word and don't take anything from the box, I'll let you have a look.
I've already taken
I'll
a
get
look
it
at
for you
things.
after.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Huh.
There you go. All yours for the browsing.
Clues. So it's Lily's son, I'm imagining.
Nice scarf. Impressively clean, too. Lily clearly took care of her things. That cheap ring. Must have had sentimental value, because otherwise there'd be no point in keeping it. These don't look too valuable. Let's see what we have in here.
Dear Mr. Peterson, while it's unorthodox practice for a detective to maintain contact with the relatives of a victim after the case has been closed, your story has touched me on a deeper level. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you in this difficult time. I understand that you've decided to take it upon yourself to raise your sister's son, and for that I commend and respect you. So again, do not hesitate to contact me if there's anything I can do to help. Yours, Detective Lester Barnett. Oh.
One of 3 buttons with an engraved lily on it. I wonder if they're just decorative or if they have some other purpose.
What's it? What? 3132 3132 213 3132 213 3132 213. Oh my god.
Well now, I think we just found ourselves a bonanza.
Aunt Lily, I tried. God knows I tried, but I couldn't let that bastard get away with this crime. I refused to watch you suffer the same fate as mother. Justice had to be done. I've snuffed out his life, just as he tried to choke yours out of your body. The blood that stains this letter is his. As I write this, you are in a hospital bed, unconscious. I don't know if I'll ever be able to speak with you again, but I am placing this letter in your secret place and hope that you will someday be able to read it. In the meantime, I've discovered my true calling. I must dispense justice to those who harm innocent women. I have seen the cycle of violence go on far too long. I've lost both my mother and aunt to violent men, and I must stop them from happening again. I spoke with Gloria, and she told me she had been violated by one of her clients, an ironworker named Hannibal Kirkland. I will observe him and his habits until the time is right to strike. After he's taken care of, I will find others who do the same until this wretched city is scrubbed clean. I need to send a message. Love, blank, always. Huh. What's his name?
So, Ruby.
Yes?
I found this letter inside a secret compartment in the box belonging to Lily. Do you know anything about it?
I thought we agreed you wouldn't take anything from there.
This is a special case. This letter's from Lily's nephew, the Justice Killer.
Oh, I see. Look, I've only been here a short time. I don't know anything about Lily or any killers or anything, I swear.
You know, I think she's telling the truth.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Madam Serafina. We have something to talk about.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
She probably won't want to give him up.
Serafina, what can you tell me about Lily's nephew?
Her nephew? I didn't know she had a nephew. Lily didn't talk much about her family, as you can probably imagine.
You're not lying to me, are you?
I have nothing to hide from you.
Except maybe the truth. But I don't think we have what we need to make her talk. If there even is anything that would make her talk.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Okay, so we have to get her to talk. Oh, I thought I had a button there for a second. Okay. Exit stage left. Now these are all still places. What's my casebook got to say? Find the Jessica, speak to the serving girl at the ruined coffee house. Easily done.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I spoke with your friend Ruby. She told me something quite disturbing.
What was that?
She said that Ennis had fits of violence, and that the reason you ended your relationship was because he hit you.
Why would she tell you that? That was my secret to tell, not hers. I thought we were friends.
It's obvious she cares about you and is worried about your well-being.
Well, it hardly matters now Ennis is dead, does it?
But is it true? Did he raise his hand to you?
Yes. It is true.
Okay.
As I said before, something changed in him. I have no idea what, but I had to get away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. I'm sorry you had to experience what you did. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
So we have to get a look at an old case file. There's only one guy that I know that has that. Let's take a look at this textbook case of clues, though. Learn about Lili Peterson's murder. At the police station.
Chief Snow.
Yes?
Do you recall a murder involving a woman named Lili Peterson about a year ago?
Lili Peterson? Yes. That name does sound familiar. Of course, the prostitute murder. That wasn't one of yours, was it?
No, it wasn't. Do you remember any other details?
As I recall, the woman was beaten severely by one of her clients, who escaped and was never found. She died a few days later in the hospital. How is this of any relevance, exactly?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Did you know that Lili Peterson had a sister who was killed some 16 years ago?
I didn't. Are you suggesting that's related somehow?
Yes.
I think it is. Would you be able to get me the case file?
What was the victim's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
That might be a bit more difficult, unless you can give me more details.
I'll try my best.
Very well. What year did you say the case was from?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know. Was it 26?
1826, according to the information I've gathered.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
Lester Barnett.
Right. He was quite active in those days. And what was the victim's official cause of death?
Strangulation.
It was strangulation.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything. I suggest...
Okay. So... Ruby's testimony. God darn it. Okay, so we had the right to details.
Yes.
That's the first thing I don't know.
I can find what...
Okay, maybe it was 31. What was
16?
Right.
It was Mr. Barnett.
Right. And what?
Strangulation.
All right. Yes. Here we are.
I say it's like there's only two other things. We're 2 out of 3. Okay. March 3rd, 1820. Liam
So we
Collins.
have our killer's
Daisy
last
Collins.
name and possible first name, assuming he's the same man Linda Walker talked about.
Causes of
Perhaps it's
gunshot,
time to ask
self-inflicted
about him at the
strangulation.
docks.
Reporter were notified by a neighbor of heard shouting and general commotion from the Collins apartment. They found Daisy Collins in the living room with clear signs of strangulation. In the bedroom, they found Liam Collins, the apparent victim of self-inflicted gunshot to the head. In the rest of the apartment, the officer found a young child, aged approximately 4 years old, lying in the bed. The clown did not respond to questions and visibly upset. Detective Lester Barnett given an investigation. Collins attacked his wife, likely in the different circle. To the docks. To the docks! You wouldn't know anything, would you, Trevor?
Keep up the good work.
Okay. He only knows grunts.
You again? What do you need?
Information, my friend.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Do
you know a man named Samuel Collins?
Yes, I do. He's one of my workers.
Is he working today?
No, it's his day off. Why do you ask?
I'm very interested in speaking with him. Could you tell me where I can find him?
I don't just give out information on my men to strangers. What reason do you have for wanting to speak with him?
I believe he may be involved in some serious crimes.
Is that right? And what are these serious crimes exactly?
Murder.
I believe he's stealing money from you and your business.
What? Do you have proof of this?
No, I guess I don't.
Stop!
About Sam...
Yes? What about him?
I believe Samuel's the justice killer.
Okay, well, let's go with it.
That's absolutely preposterous.
Is
You've
it?
got quite some imagination.
About...
Yes?
I believe he stole from...
What?
The Hanbrook Flower Shop. He stole several orders of Easter lilies.
The Hanbrook Flower Shop? They're not one of my customers. I only sell to wholesalers.
A minor detail. The point remains that your man's a burglar.
That's quite a serious claim. What proof do you have?
You can hear it straight from the man who works at the shop that was burgled.
Well, where is he then?
Wait here just a moment.
Huh. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Hastings?
What is it, Detective? As I said, I'm rather busy.
I was wondering if you might help me with something. Could you please tell the shipping manager over there about the burglaries at your flower shop?
Certainly.
You know, I don't know. Apparently, I'm always
Go
last
ahead,
to
Mr.
think.
Hastings. Right. It all started around 5 months ago.
Like, that seemed like the less serious
And he
of
didn't
things.
come around again after that night.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. That'll do. Now are you convinced?
Fine. I hate to lose 2 of my men in such a short amount of time. But if he's done wrong, I can't just stand by.
It's like murder.
Samuel lives
Nah,
in
not
Chumley,
important
at
enough.
210 Abattoir
He's
Road.
stealing from you.
Thank
What
you,
proof
sir.
do you
You
have?
may have just saved
He
several
took some
lives.
flowers
But
from
I'm
this
going to
guy
have to
over
spend
here.
several crowns
Hey,
in order to get
hey,
things
hey.
back to normal.
I'm not gonna
Now,
stand
if
for
you'll
it.
Excuse me.
Not gonna stand for it. Okay, Quesabuca. Apprehend Samuel Collins at his home. Easier said than done. Mysterious Samuel Collins residence. Oh, with the freaking lilies. With a picture of his mother.
Samuel Collins?
Yes?
I'm Terrence Shackley from the Labor Department. I wanted to ask you some questions about your employer at the docks.
Oh, of course. Please come in. I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
Terrence Shackley? But it's not my real name. I just used it to get into your apartment. I believe you did something similar at the Houses of Parliament with Mr. McDonough.
So, you're Fordham, the one who was snooping around at the Gilded Lily.
Indeed.
Oh, wow.
We meet again, Mr. Collins.
Of course. The rooftop. I'm sorry about what happened to your partner. It wasn't my intent for him to die.
Oh, he's sorry, is he? Is that supposed to make things better?
I suppose this encounter was inevitable. But I admit I didn't think it would be this soon. So, you're here to arrest me.
Yep.
Assumptions are like soufflés. Making them seems like a good idea, but they soon prove to be more trouble than they're worth.
Not to mention they're puffed up with air and deflate when you poke them. So you're not planning to arrest me? That makes sense.
Arresting you wouldn't be proper justice. You've taken so many lives.
Oh, please. Every one of those men deserved what they got.
Why do you say that? None of those men killed anyone.
No. What they did was far worse. Inexcusable. Unforgivable. I had to make sure justice was done.
I understand your reasons, but that doesn't mean your actions were justified. You need to pay for your crimes, one way or another.
My crimes? What about theirs? If not for me, they would have gotten away with them.
There are other ways of upholding justice, Collins. Ways that don't involve mass murder.
The system is broken. Criminals get away all the time. You know that. Only too well. But you comprehend my situation. You understand my reasons for doing what I do.
Understanding is not the same as approval.
But it is the first step.
Is this bastard really suggesting what I think he is?
All I ask is that you allow me to continue my
Can't do
work
that, buddy.
in
I gotta get this
peace.
voice out of my head.
You looked the other way once before. You can do it again.
You're right. I did look the other way, and it wound up costing my partner his life. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to just let you keep killing.
Damn right, Miles. This has to end.
Then you leave me no choice.
Oh. Whoa!
Fordham, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
So, this is our justice killer?
That's right.
I suppose congratulations are in order. You did well in finding him.
Thank you, Chief Snelling. I'm glad we were finally able to work together.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you weren't so brash as to confront him without notifying me first. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. Now then, I'll go get the other officers so we can lock down the scene and remove the body. Wait here.
Quite a night, hey, Bill? Bill? Are you there? Bill?
Really? Well-deserved stretch. So that really did get rid of Bill. Glad to know I'm not just stir crazy. Now it's time to say
It's good of you
goodbye.
to do this, Miles. Do you need some time alone?
Nah.
I wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll wait for you over by the sycamores.
So, it's finally over. I have to admit, it's been strange not hearing you all the time anymore. Never in a million years did I think I would actually miss it. But the important thing is you've moved on, and I got what I was looking for. I'm starting up my own private detective agency, you know. Addie and Upton are going to be my partners.
Oh, okay.
It should be interesting, to say the least. Oh, that reminds me. I brought you a little something.
Is it Lily's? Oh.
It's not much, but I thought you might appreciate it. Thank you for all your help, Bill. I truly would have been lost without it.
Observe a moment of silence.
Goodbye, old friend. I love you.
Job well done. Good game, man. Good game. You know, except for that one little foul up, which honestly, you know, I can't say that I knew for certain. Like, that's just kind of weird, though. It's nice that the game saved right before I clicked on one of those places, though, because I would have been pissed to have to redo all that. But that leading me to be thrown into jail, interesting concept, to say the least. And honestly, I didn't think that he had killed that one guy, but apparently he did. I mean, he did admit to it, so I mean, I guess that's it. But great game, honestly. God, I'd almost want to give it like a 9 out of 10, to tell you the truth. The end was great. We befuddled one case, which might have had a little bit more of an impact. I think it would have shown us still going towards Samuel there at the very end, but I don't know. You know, and that's something that might actually bother me for a little bit. But just good game, and how it all kind of came together at the very end, with us being able to see her case, the guy from the flower shop, the dude from the art department, the art thing. So that guy might have gave us more information if we had solved that case, that murder case with the spontaneous human combustion. I don't know. It probably would have. It probably been something a little bit more into that right there. But great game, honestly. You know, big thanks to the devs that, you know, gave me a free copy of this. Well worth playing. Good. I like how the past cases had an effect on this one. I like how it all got wrapped up, and apparently I wasn't insane, which was a plus. And yeah, I don't know. Good job. Well done. And so that's gonna wrap it up for this game. I hope you guys all enjoyed Lamplight City. Definitely an interesting little game. I enjoyed a couple little puzzles here or there. None too superly bad, but it's overall a good experience. Just a good old experience. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. So let's see if I click, see anything happen. No, this is the true ending. There's no skipping through this. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, comment down, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. That'll wrap it up for the series. I'll of course watch to the very end of this. If there's anything else that happens at the end, I'll bring you back for that moment. But until next time, you take it easy, and I'll see you around. Peace.